In class, we've been working on being a reading detective and using our context clues to figure out the meaning of unknown words. We'll review that skill today. Context clues are important because they help us to find unfamiliar or difficult words in text, or figure out the meaning of words we've never seen before. It helps us to become a better reader, and it can come in handy during tests when a dictionary or the internet's not available to us. Context clues can be found in the sentence that the word is in. It might be found in a paragraph or a passage as an unknown word. Context clues can also be in sentences following the word. They're called context clues because they are found in the context of the sentence or the passage. Context clue number 1 is a definition. Unfamiliar word is directly defined in the sentence in which it appears. Definitions are usually set off by commas or dashes and may include the use of words such as, or, that is, or in other words. The example here is apples, red fruits that grow on trees, are my teacher's favorite. We know that apples are the same as red fruits that grow on trees. The context clue number 2 would be an antonym, or a word that shows the opposite meaning. This type of context clue usually includes the words whereas, unlike, as opposed to, however, or on the other hand. The example here, unlike Jen, who was easygoing, Jackie was fastidious. We can conclude that the word fastidious is the opposite of easygoing because of the word unlike. The third type of context clue is a synonym or a restatement. Words with similar meanings are used within the same sentence or around the unfamiliar word. In this example, Santa Claus was so portly that his doctor declared him overweight. This is an example of a synonym clue where portly and overweight mean the same or nearly the same thing. The fourth type of context clue is an inference. Word meanings are not directly stated in the text, but we can figure out a reasonable definition for the unfamiliar word by using our prior knowledge and the context in which the word sits. The example here, she was so famished that people felt sorry for her and gave her food to eat. We can infer the meaning of famished. People felt sorry for her, they gave her food, so famished must mean hungry. There's a little acronym to help you remember context clues. The acronym SAID, S-A-I-D. S stands for synonym, A for antonym, I for inference, and D for definition. These are 4 clues that we can use to figure out the meaning of unknown words. Let's practice. Practice using the 4 types of context clues to figure out the meaning of these unknown words. We're going to read each sentence, and I want you to think about the highlighted word and the type of context clues you use to arrive at your answer. You don't have to write anything down. You'll just click the answer that you believe is best or type in your answer. You'll have 30 seconds to answer each riddle. Riddle number 1. Since it was raining outside, I used my bumbershoot to keep me from getting wet. What might bumbershoot mean? A bumbershoot is an umbrella. We can use our inferencing to context clues. We don't want to get wet, so we're going to use our bumbershoot to help us. We would use an umbrella to keep from getting wet in the rain. Let's try another one. Unlike Kyle, who was a conformer and a follower, Jeremy is a maverick. What might maverick mean based on the context clues? A maverick is a loner or someone who is independent of the group. We can use the context clue of an antonym to figure out the meaning. It says, unlike Kyle, Jeremy is a maverick. So Kyle and Jeremy must be fairly opposite. Let's do a third one. The renivorous hawk, an animal that eats frogs, is found in Central and Eastern Africa. What might that bold word mean? Here we can use the context clue of a definition to figure out that that means frog eating. The clue here are the commas, an animal that eats frogs. Let's do our last example. In class, Julia was so cantankerous that her grumpy behavior negatively affected everyone. What might that word mean? Using our context clues, we can figure out that that word means grouchy or ill-tempered because it's a synonym or a restatement. If you look at the example, it said her grumpy behavior negatively affected everyone. So we can use that to figure out the meaning of the unknown word. Now that we've reviewed using context clues to figure out the meaning of unknown words, put this strategy to use and figure out some of the unknown words from your novel.